Hello and welcome to Delusional AuthorTube. I'm your host, Julian Greystoke, who cannot frame a shot to save her life. So many of you may know that I'm an indie author, developmental editor, and of course, AuthorTuber. And today I asked my viewers, who are authors, to tell me their most delusional author goals or dreams. Because yes, we all understand that these things are probably never going to happen for us, but that doesn't stop our hearts from wanting it. So I'll be sharing their answers for what are their most quote-unquote delusional author goals or dreams, and then I will pepper in some of my own so you can know also what I secretly want in my deepest heart of hearts from my own books. Let's go in no particular order. Either having my favorite channels on BookTube reviewing my books, or being on a writer's panel with my favorite authors, or both. Yeah, why not both?
Both.
We are being delusional here. You have permission to want both. I am not gonna lie. I have watched my favorite booktubers reviewing books, and I have sat there fantasizing about them reviewing my book. It's definitely something I've done. I've been sitting there like, but what if it was my book? What if they open up their video and instead of saying the title of a different book, they said the title of my book? Wouldn't that be thrilling? That would be thrilling, right? And also just being on a panel with your favorite authors. So exciting. I have been on some writing panels at WisCon, which is my favorite writing convention, which may or may not be coming back next year because it went on hiatus this year, which made me cry. But anyway, I've been on some panels, but I've never had the opportunity to be on one with like one of my favorite authors, and that would be so hype. This person says, my dream is to have my fantasy novels turned into an animated show, but for adults, as there are too many serious themes and bloody fights. This was a really common one. A lot of people, strangely, or not so strangely, honestly, would rather see their stories as animated shows or movies versus live action, which is pretty cool. I mean, honestly, with animation, especially like really good animation, you can do a lot more than you can with live action, and I think that a lot of us would really love to have that. I wouldn't care which, honestly, animation or live action. Like, I'd love to see my book well translated onto the screen, but yeah, surprising number of people wanted animation. This person says, Delulu writer goals. 1, able to support myself comfortably with the income from my books. Same, we have the same Delulu goal. I know it's never gonna happen, and yet it still lives rent-free in my heart. 2 people are hyped to read what I do next. Yes. I mean, that doesn't even seem that Delulu. Like, as long as you can reach a couple of people with your books, like as long as you're okay with like 2 people being enough people being hyped for your next book, then that dream can come true. 3, that one project getting picked up by, spoiler, presumably your favorite publishing company or like movie making studio. They're called studios, Julian. 4, getting to write for dream projects, and 5, adaptations. This person says, the sound of my heart shattering from hearing my comforting pipe dreams being called delusional. Listen, just because they're delusional, or delulu, as the kids say, does not mean that they can't also be your comforting pipe dreams. Like, I'm gonna continue through my life imagining that they're totally gonna happen for me, because that's my plan. I'm gonna keep doing that. Try and stop me. In all seriousness, though, definitely a movie or TV series. There's also the idea of people making fan art or fan fiction on my characters sometime after my book is released. Or, just having fans in general. I've had some fan art done of my books, and just like the joy that it fills me with, it just fills my heart. And I wish that for you too, that soon you will get some fan art. This person says, a comic would be neat, an anime style show would be cool. There you go. Yep, some more animated shows. Fan fictions would be interesting. I'd like to know what other people would do with my character's world. Yeah, I'd be interested in fan fiction of my stuff too. I'd feel like I couldn't read it. Not because I'd be worried that it would like infuriate me or anything. Like, you can do whatever with my characters if you're writing fan fiction. But like, a lot of authors don't read their fan fiction merely because they don't want to be accused by fan fiction writers of like stealing the idea from the fan fiction. So like, if you write a fan fiction of one of my stories or my characters, just like send me a summary, because I probably won't actually read the fanfic itself, but I do want to know. I want to know what you did, because I'm curious. This person says, my most delusional writer goals are to have a fan following that cosplays my characters. Oh my gosh, yes. People cosplay your characters. That is such a dream. That is, yes. I have had some friends of mine cosplay my characters, and it's like so amazing. But to have somebody who I don't even know cosplay one of my characters, mwah. A TV series, a line of merch that people actively searched out. Okay, I'm gonna share with you, that's also one of my pipe dreams. I want merch for my books, like hardcore merch. Like I want people to be clamoring to buy the replica of Valentine's pocket watch from Adventurer Mage, or the replica of Maeve's like little book that she has. She has like a book of like herbs and recipes and stuff that she carries around, and I want people to want the replica of that. Or replicas of the adventuring coats. Like, all right, I'm getting off on a tangent, but like one of my biggest delusional writer goals is to have merch. I want a whole like merch boxes. I want to see people unboxing merch for my books on YouTube. That's the pipe dream. Like not even just that the merch exists. I want to watch unboxing videos of people excitedly unboxing merch for my books online. So yeah, totally get you, friend. But let's continue reading. I'm just kind of peppering mine in whenever I agree with somebody. This person does say that they are in the process of plotting out 2 tarot decks based on the main characters in the series that they're writing, and I'd love for it to be something people are interested in. That's very cool. Someday I dream of creating a tarot deck just in general, but it's a lot of cards, man. It's a lot of cards. They also say, this ties into my delusional, I can't say that word, art goals too. I'd love for people to search me out for my design skills for book covers and merch based on seeing my work on my own books. So a little spoiler, I do know this person. I'm going to go ahead and give their name even though I'm not giving names to other people because I'm about to promote them. This is Vampire the Antihero. I believe they go by this most places on social media. They are an artist, if you have not figured that out yet. And they have a really, really cool style. So especially if you have like a dark book, they have kind of a dark, ominous style. So if you have kind of a dark, ominous book and you're like maybe looking to work with an illustrator or a cover designer, find them, check them out. I'll try to remember to put a link below. If I fail, just remind me so that you can find out if they're open for commissions, because sometimes they are open for commissions and they could be your cover artist. I'm just saying. We could mutually make some dreams come true. This person says, definitely to be discussed on YouTube. Not sure about a movie or TV shows, but having my book on somebody's most anticipated video would be really something. Yeah, I feel ya. That would be so good. Like imagine if somebody like excitedly hauled your book on their YouTube channel. This person says, besides watching YouTubers dissect the story in its minute detail, complete with praise and rants, I'd have to say that plushies of my main and secondary characters. My characters harvest different aspects of weather, so it'd be fun for a reader to reference certain characters depending on the weather. So-and-so was added again. Would you knock it off? That is an interesting one. That's one. Definitely like a different angle. Just people like referencing your characters in their day-to-day life. That would be pretty cool. So, okay, let me tell you just one of my delusional dreams, just like flat out. One of my delusional dreams, like aside from having my book read by YouTubers, is I want to send Adventurer Mage to Michael Sheen, who played a character who inspired the character of Valentine. I want to send it to Michael Sheen, and I want him to read it, and then for like added delusionalness, I want him to like it and want to be the voice actor for Valentine in the totally inevitable delusional audiobook, full cast audiobook for the Adventurer Mage series. Talk about delusional, am I right? I do have plans to send him the book at some point, just like to his fan mail, wherever his fan mail goes, and like best case scenario, it gets to him and he like throws it away or like stuffs it in a closet somewhere. But like a girl being me can still dream. This person says, I try to be realistic with my goals, but a dream of mine would be to have one of my stories adapted into a Broadway musical. Ooh, interesting. Bonus points if Terrence Mann and or Kristen Chenoweth play a role. Interesting. That's a new one. I don't think I have too many people saying they want their book to be a Broadway musical. That's pretty cool. This Person says, people on YouTube doing a full breakdown of my story, like character analysis, deep dives into themes and concepts. It'd be interesting to see. And someone agrees, same, perhaps seeing people's live reactions. And do they understand the subtext I worked so hard on? Yeah, oh, I agree with you, internet friend. I would love for somebody to be like, hey, I caught that thing that you did. I see that thing that you put in your book. Yeah, and just be vindicated that like anybody is getting like the subtext and the themes. Or if they caught my Easter eggs. Like there's often Easter eggs in my book that are just like random and obscure and usually have to do with my fandoms. And like if somebody would catch it, my heart would be so happy. Like if you caught one of my Easter eggs, message me. This kind of does tangent me off onto one of my other delusional goals, and that is to have people making excuses for my plot holes. Like, I try not to have too many plot holes in my books, but if there are ever things that just like you kind of have to take on faith or maybe don't get fully explained in the book because it's not important, I want readers to go out of their way to explain it away for me, to take any of my mistakes in the best possible light and to be like, yeah, she meant to do that, or these are the reasons that this must be happening even though it's not in the book. Like, give me that. I want that. I want kind readers who are going to go out of their way to like not only forgive any mistakes that they find, but like explain them away canonically. Not that my regular readers aren't kind, but you know what I mean. I want fanatical readers who are like, oh, that's not a mistake. She meant to do that. This person says it's not really a writer delusional dream, but I want to give people I like a space to escape so that they can rest and heal from this harsh reality. I want to be a comfort. I mean, that's a good dream. That's a solid dream. And I think that's one that you could potentially achieve within your life. So keep striving for it. This person says, TV shows roughly the same style as Arcane for all my books, although some fancy anime or webtoon in a similar style as the villainess is a marionette would also be stunning. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. And you know, the usual bestseller stuff. My wildest dream is frankly to just make enough so I can write full time and own a piece of land where I can preserve nature and have lots of pets. Yes. Why is that, like, we all have this dream of just being able to make enough money in our writing, and how is that a delusional dream? And yet it is. That's what being a writer is like, is to realize that the reality is that at best you're probably only ever going to be making a part-time income from your books. Distressing, all right? But like, yes, I do have the land. I'm living on the land. I'm living in the middle of nowhere, which is my dream, but that is entirely thanks to my husband's income, not to my books. This person also says, I'd probably want a maid or something because I'm disabled and could never keep a household running on my own. Yeah, I mean, hired help. Yeah. Add that onto the list. Why not? You got to have, like, I mean, I've got horses, so I'm going to need a stable manager to come out here and take care of my horses. And just, you know, a cleaning person. Yeah, add that onto the list. This person says, this is probably so small, but when I was a kid, we had authors come to our town library and do little writing workshops during school and holidays sometimes. I always loved those things, and I'd love to one day go back and do the same thing for other kids. That's a dream that's achievable, especially like if you have published a few books, even if it's self-published, you could probably contact libraries and be like, hey, can I do this? And I bet you could. So that dream could come true for ya. Sometimes things like that, where you think like, oh, I have to be invited, or like, oh, I don't know how to get my foot in the door. Those are the sort of things that you can just like do.
Do it! Make your dreams come true!
This person does agree with them and says that they remember a similar thing in their town when they were in 5th grade. And just being able to be there as like the encouraging force for the next group of writers is such a great thing to want to do, and I think all of us want to do that a little bit, because many of us, I'm sure, had that person in our lives who read one of our stories and told us that it was good. And that was enough. That was enough to power us for often decades. And so to think that you could be that for somebody else, to be like, hey, small child, I read your story about a cat, and I think it's really good. And then that powers that child and their self-esteem just on into the future. To be that for somebody else is definitely an amazing dream. This person says, honestly, it's having my books turned into just animation. Even if it's just a gift's worth or uncolored sketches, I'd kill for it. That and having them made into graphic novels. Because of my visual imagination, I see my scenes visually, and I'm just like, ugh, I need an artist ASAP. I feel you. Even though I can draw, like, not amazing, but I can draw well enough. Like, I don't have time to sit there and draw all of my characters and scenes and everything, and I totally feel you because I am picturing these scenes in my head so hard. I wish I could animate or had a fan who was really into animating my scenes because, like, yeah, I would also love that. This person says, New York Times bestseller and movie deals. Well, the good news is it's not really that hard to become a New York Times bestseller. It's not as prestigious as people would have you think it is, but the movie deals is harder. This person says, having my book series become a big franchise with all kinds of cool merch and computer games and people cosplaying as the characters. Ooh, computer games, that's a new one. I know, childish and a bit dumb. Hello, this is the Delusional Author Dreams video. Nothing here is childish or dumb. All of this is amazing and beautiful dreams and secret goals that we will treasure forever. This person says, an AO3 category for my books. That would be awesome. That's amazing. This person says, so you know those Rick Riordan Presents books where other authors wrote stories about modern characters interacting with all sorts of different mythologies, and Rick Riordan uses his name recognition to help people discover these other authors. My delusional wish is that I can get well known enough to help other authors get discovered in the same light. Very cool, definitely. I'd settle for getting Rick Riordan to notice I exist. This person says, I would fully support myself on my writing and never have to do another boring, creativity-sucking job ever again. I don't need to be a millionaire off my writing, just replace my regular job income. See, this is the thing. Most of us, our pipe dream isn't even to become like millionaires. We don't need to be Stephen King. We don't need to be a certain author who shall not be named, living in her castle, making bad takes left, right, and center. We don't need to be them. Most of us don't want to be them. We just want literally to make enough to eat and have a house off of our writing. And yet the world we live in, that's a delusional dream. I don't know if I've told you all my theory about this, but I fully believe that we live in the dumbest timeline. Not the darkest, the dumbest. Like, who designed this timeline? Oh my, somebody fire them. This person says, my dream is for my series to have enough reach for the people it's about to recognize it. Ooh, about in a good way or about in a bad way? Are we doing vengeance via writing here? Are you hoping your enemies pick up the book and they're like, gosh, I hate this character. And then they go, wait.
I will eviscerate you in fiction. Every last pimple, every last character flaw.
This person says to be able to live off the money I make from them. Yep. Honestly, though, it's a movie or TV show thing. I would also love to have a game set in my book's worlds or something like that, too. As a fanfic writer, I would also be super happy if I got fanfic fan art made of my works, too. This person says a 24-episode anime for sure, or people creating video essays on YouTube about it. This person agrees, deep dive video essays. People making face/voice claims for my characters. Studio Ghibli adaptation. Ooh. I would love the animation, but Miyazaki tends to take his inspirations very loosely. I think Howl's Moving Castle is like the one that's closest to the book it was based on, and even then it is pretty wildly different. This person says, watching a compilation of cosplay TikToks and seeing someone cosplaying one of my characters would be sick. Yes, I agree. This one says, having my stories animated. Yep. A lot of people want their book to be animated. This person says, ending up writing many books a year. That'd be cool. Having my whole series turned into a TV show, selling enough to buy an apartment. Yeah, it's a simple dream of just like, I'd love to have a place to live that I purchased with my books. This person says, I'm pretty serious about pursuing my career in writing, so I tend to avoid unrealistic goals. But hey, you came here to share your delusional goals, so I hope you do. But the most delusional milestone for me is that I've grown a large enough fan base that I'm forced to restructure my social media presence. I won't have accounts for personal use. I'll just have to make new accounts because my old ones were no longer professional enough for my now larger audience. Okay, that's a kind of a cool dream, honestly. Like, it's very niche, and I love it. That being said, if I ever do get a movie deal, I won't go into it expecting to be successful. I try my best to piggyback on their marketing. This person says, I would love a video game of my book. Okay, more people wanting video games of their book. That's cool. I know it'll never happen, but with The Witcher, I can dream. Haha. Although I am working on a TTRPG based off my books, so hey. Yeah, I mean, tabletop is definitely a great way to go. I ran my friends through a weekend-long RPG based in the world of my work in progress. So just kind of flesh it out, see how it went. This person says, I want at least one of my books to be an anime. Yep. This person says, when I was 13 and starting to write, I always hoped for an epic fantasy series. I had just written a couple of chapters and would be turned into a movie series someday. But my father and my low self-esteem put such delusions to rest. And I was like, okay, but like, I support delusional young you. Like, don't kill that dream. We're here to be delusional together. And if epic fantasy series is where you want to go, then we're going to hold on to that dream for you. Then they do say, all right, my delusional writer goal is earning enough of my books to live in a nice house with a big garden in the countryside, and to at least have some fans that find my books moving and my characters empathizable. There you go. There you go. We are not here to crush dreams today. I crush dreams in different videos. This is not my dream crushing video. This is my dream uplifting video. So if you're ever like, Julian, stop crushing my dreams and telling me facts about what it's like to be an author, come to this video and just be like, live with us, dwell with us in our delusion and our total belief that these things are going to happen for us someday. And finally, the last person says that they would like a web comic. They have been inspired by manhwas, don't know what that is, and would love a comic based on my story. So there you go. We have a lot of people who want animated shows. We have some people who want video games. We have a lot of like comics. A lot of us who are authors really want visual mediums of our books as well, but like we don't have the time or the energy or the skill or some combination thereof to make that also happen along with writing the books. But yeah, do I have any more delusional goals to add? Let me think. It would be great if I could crank out more books in a year. I usually it takes me about a year, a bit under, to like fully draft a book. So, and that's because I work like other jobs and stuff. I don't know what it'd be like if I was writing full time, but someday I hope to find out. That's one of my dreams, is to just be a writer and a YouTuber. I don't think I'd quit this. Like, this is fun for me, so I don't think I'd quit this. But being a writer / YouTuber just as my career would be amazeballs.
Real quick, another pipe dream that I think would be so easy for it to actually come true is I would love for a popular book talker or bookstagrammer to read my books and really love them, or even just one of them, and post about them gushing on their TikTok or their Instagram. People underestimate the power of just having somebody with a large platform, like, promoting your work. So, like, yeah, if that could happen for me, that would be amazing. By the way, if any of you have TikTok or Instagram, like Book Talk or Bookstagram, like you're one of those kind of people, even if you have a small following but would love to help me out, like post about my books. Indie authors need people like you to help us, because we don't have like a marketing team behind us. We are the marketing team and we're all bad at it. Yeah, that's one of my dreams.
Oh, and one of my biggest pipe dreams is to have full cast audio recordings of my books. Like, movies and TV shows would be cool, and I especially think the Adventure of Mage series would make an excellent TV series, but I really just want full cast audiobooks. I love full cast audiobooks. I love listening to them, and I would love them for my books. They are way out of my price range. As an author, as an indie author, like, they are so far down the road, but I want them so bad. And like, that's one of the reasons that I have not made an audiobook for Adventure Mage, is that I want to do it justice. And like, even if I can't get full cast, I probably want at least 2 narrators. And it's like, we can't justify that expense right now. So there it is. However, if you want to help me justify that expense somewhere down the road, you can support me on my Patreon, where you will also get exclusive videos not seen here on the regular channel. So check that out. You can also become a channel member, and you will get those same exclusive videos that are not seen by the normies. You know, one of my dreams was always to get a Patreon, and then I just did it. That's one of those things that you can just do. Like, there's actually nobody can stop you. And I did have somebody, I think I've told the story before, somebody was like, you shouldn't get a Patreon, nobody's going to support you. Well, as you can hear by me reading the names off at the end of all of my videos, people do in fact support me on Patreon. So yeah, some of those things that you're just like, huh, like, I feel like I don't know if I have enough like of a fan base, or I don't know. Like, even if you have 0 fan base, you can still get a Patreon, because like, it doesn't cost anything to have a Patreon. It's not hurting anything to have a Patreon. Why not? Why not? Or just like contact the library and see if you can be like a featured author that kids could come in and see. There's certain things out there that it's like nobody can stop you. Like, I am a panelist. Like I said, I'm an author panelist at WisCon. I just signed up. I went on their website when they're looking for panelists, and I'm like, hey, I'd like to be on this panel. Here are my credentials. And I have never been denied getting onto any of the panels that I wanted to get on. So, like, there's sometimes you just got to do stuff. Like, sometimes you just got to get that delusional confidence into your head and be like, why not? Who's going to stop me? And just do it. This has been your pep talk on delusional things from Julian. Just go out there and do it. Who's going to stop you? Let them try to stop you, quite frankly.
You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there!
Book writing is hard. Being an author is hard. Don't let anybody tell you any different, but we are out here doing the damn thing. And I'm excited to have all of you and to have heard all of your delusional dreams. We will all hold on to these dreams for each other and wish for all of us to have all of these things come true. And if any of these things do come true for you, I want to hear about it. You better message me and tell me about it, all right? You better do that. Because, yeah, let me live vicariously through you. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!
A stranger from the outside.
Greetings!
It's me, Julian Greystoke, and you are my beloved patrons, and you may hear the noises of ferrets in the background as I read all of your names. We have Haley History Nerd, Nemo the Sorcerer, Tactical Hot Dog, Stephanie, Pixelizzy, Rhea, Christina, Cameron, Lady Kragan, Jose, Lunar Muse, AJ, Marshy, Semidark, GK, Scout, Kay, Annika, Jen, Gay Tutter, Constantina, Laknunga, SB Boots, Martha Baggins, July, Bird Anonymous, Sarah, Kat. Boy, the ferrets are just having an amazing time right now. 78 kilograms of shade, Veda, Roma, Pansing Pony, Haley, Sam, Kira, Kohikaru, Mooney, Pudamancer, Kirsten, Bear, Jojo Bookish, Robin, Ursula, Caitlin, Jessica, KJ, Lafone, Mufflier, Celia, Alyssa, Deborah, Afra, Swamp Goblin Waifu, Sophia, Marween, Kit, Hidden Glade, Light Julie, Belle, Patrick, Anne Sophie, Callison, Shelby, Zaire, Jesper, Rennie, Scribbling Cat, Savvy, Jenny, Amanda, Lisa, and Sarah. Thanks so much for being my patrons, both those of you who have been around for ages and those of you who are brand new. Love you all. In like a parasocial way. I don't actually like love you because that'd be a little weird. But love you in the way that I love that you're helping me out with my channel. So I'm gonna stop talking now.
Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!